just going to get to it right now, is that this is on April 11th. The weekend before, April 4th, is Europe's Strongest Man. So Hafthor Bjornsson has pulled out of Europe's Strongest Man. And he says he's going to attempt to deadlift 400, I'm sure he's going to hit 400, 500 plus kilos to get the world record in Dubai. He put on his Instagram 360 kilogram deadlift with a deadlift suit, 3 sets of 1 rep. This was always my planned weight as I'm tapering to the Arnold. But this week I accepted another challenge, and that is to compete at World's Ultimate Strongman Dubai show on the 11th of April in Bahrain. There's a lot of talk about what it's going to take to be considered the best deadlifter in the world, and it's time to compare apples with apples. I will still be competing on the elephant bar at the Arnold's, but if you've been following, you'll know that the deadlift event will be on day 2, which means that the athletes will be attempting the deadlift in a fatigue state, which makes achieving 501 kilograms much harder. At World's Ultimate Strongman, the deadlift will be the first event on the first day on a deadlift bar with a deadlift suit and figure 8 straps, and I will be ready to deadlift 501 kilos and break the world deadlift record. Basically saying just like Eddie Hall did, except I don't think Hafthor is going to fly his own personal deadlift bar down to Bahrain. So that's big news. Going to go for that. They keep saying that they're going to put out how much they're going to pay someone to deadlift 501 kilos. And I really just hope it happens, because I'm tired of talking about it. I think it's great. I don't think anyone was going to do over 501 at the Arnold. I still think Thor has a good shot of winning that and breaking his own elephant bar deadlift record at the Arnold. But this is coming up, and money talks. There's $350,000 in total prize money, so first place is probably over 80. That's going to mean between March then April, if Hafthor wins both of those, he's going to be netting over $160,000. Plus, if they're not announcing how much they're paying to break the deadlift record, it has to be more than $50,000. I don't know, but that's what everyone's been doing. Everyone's been saying $50,000 to break it, $50,000 to break it. I'm guessing it's $100,000 to deadlift 501 kilograms minimum. So why is Thor skipping out on Europe's Strongest Man? He has nothing to prove. He's won the show 5 times. This is a business. Anything can happen. His foot injury he had at Worlds, stuff like that. Before you know it, you're not winning any shows. The life of an athlete, you have to make as much money as you possibly can. Well, you can. The window's short and it can end any day. So if he has a chance to go to one show and walk away with over 6 figures, he has to do that versus Europe's Strongest Man. I don't think a lot of the other athletes are going to skip out on Europe's because of this, because I think this is a doable show. For a lot of these guys compete all the time. They can still go to this show, and other than maybe the max deadlift, the log's a very doable weight. Farmers is a very doable weight. The dumbbell's only 100 kilos. Granted, just the normal injuries that occur between the Arnold, and Europe's and everything. I think, it's a good training day for them, and that's why. And I think it's a good thing that World's Ultimate Strongman didn't make this another super heavy show, knowing that they just kind of threw it in the mix of all these other big shows that are coming up. They kind of had to do that in order to make it doable for all these athletes, and it gives the athletes another opportunity to get paid, get some of that Middle East money. It's good for everyone. It does. I understand as a fan's perspective being upset that someone like Thor is not competing at Europe's, but they have to go where the opportunities are, and this showed up, and that's an opportunity. If I was in his position, I couldn't pass up. If the promoters want to secure these athletes to stick to doing a show, they have to pay them to show up and pay a holding fee, a contract. And this happened in the early 2000s. There was 2 federations for strongman, and they would do that. They'd pay. You could only compete in our shows, and a lot of athletes got a yearly salary to do so. Unless other competitors, promoters want to start doing that, the athletes are independent contractors, they could go and get injured on the first event and get 10th and make almost no money. That's the chance that they take as independent contractors. And it's not like the NFL or something where you're a salary paid person, you get paid this much per year. They pretty much get paid to show up, and not even just to show up, but to place at these shows. Some shows there's some sort of appearance fee. There's a lot of things that aren't really talked about, but they have to do it. Thor's not going to have a chance to match Marius's 6 Europe's Strongest Man victories, but there's always next year, and I don't think it discredits Europe's Strongest Man at all. But we'll just see. But huge news from the Middle East. World's Ultimate Strongman Bahrain. You can go to worldsultimatestrongman.com for more information, and of course hit subscribe here on YouTube, and we'll have all of the information coming up from all these shows and everything else going on in the world of strongman. So hit subscribe for the latest strongman news, and of course go to store.startingstrongman.com for all of your strongman training needs.